Alright, we are back. So if you're new to the channel, I'm a biomedical engineer who's done her research work at Harvard Medical School, and I've done my master's from the Big Red, Cornell University, and over the last 10 years I've been here in the US, a little bit on the East Coast, West Coast. Right now I'm in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, and this channel is dedicated to helping all students get into their dream universities in the US. And if you've been watching the channel for a while now, you would have noticed that we went into a small hibernation mode, but we're past that, and with the fall 2026 admission cycle upon us, this video is dedicated to how to apply to scholarships specifically for prospective undergrad students. Now, if you want one dedicated for graduate students like masters and PhDs, leave a like and drop that in the comment. We'll tackle that separately. Also, I know that the US college applications in general are really complicated and there's just so much to it with essays, activities, portfolios. So if you'd like to see a guidebook on how to apply entirely, let me know. Let's get this video to like 500 likes and I'll create a dedicated guidebook for the fall 2026 applications itself. So let's talk about numbers first. An average undergraduate degree in the US for an international student can cost anywhere around $40,000–$50,000 per year in tuition fee. If you are an in-state US citizen, this may be somewhere around $15,000 to $20,000. Now, if you multiply this into 4 years of your undergraduate program, you're looking at close to $300,000 just in tuition fee, housing expenses, food, and just your overall education in general. Now, this figure converted to, let's say, Indian rupees, for example, is 2.5 crore rupees. This is not a small amount. So the need for scholarships is real. Even if a college can give you a certain percentage, like 20% or 50% of a scholarship, that can significantly help cut down cost and burden for yourself as well as your family or parents who are actually paying for this type of education. So let's keep this very simple. Scholarships for prospective undergraduate applicants are going to be divided into 3 different categories. The first one is merit scholarships. Now, there are 2 types of merit scholarships that exist: academic and sports. Now, before we get into the sports, which is what so many of you may be excited about, let's talk about the academic one. Now, this usually depends on your marks. So that means high school scores, SAT or ACT scores, and maybe a little bit AP test scores as well. Now, for your high school scores, the more you can get, the better. There's no cutoff, I would say personally. So getting like anything above 95% out of 100 is really good position to be in. For your SAT, I'd say anything above a 1500 puts you at a very good spot. And for AP test scores, getting 4s or 5s in as many subjects that you can write the AP test for will put you in a really good standing. Now, one misconception that students have is that they need 1 out of the 3 in order to get the merit scholarship. In my experience, I've interviewed so many students who've gotten these merit scholarships, and if you can like check off multiple types of merit scholarships, get good high school scores and SAT scores and AP scores, it just significantly improves your chances of actually getting that type of scholarship altogether. For the sports scholarship, this isn't something like, well, I played in an inter-school tournament or played at a district level, so I may be eligible for this. We're talking about serious competitive sports. So if you've represented your state and played at a national level, or represented your country and played at an international level, this is where this could really impact you. There are partially and fully funded sports scholarships that each college has, and the criteria differs, but the most popular ones are NCAA, NAIA, and NJCAA member schools. Now, this process is highly competitive in my opinion, so you will need to look at specific requirements that each college has and what their sports quota may look like. So how do you apply for these merit scholarships? Now, these are the easiest in my opinion. They don't have a separate application and they don't ask you to fill out any additional details. When you apply to a college, you're typically always automatically considered for merit scholarships based on your profile and application that you're submitting. In very few rare cases, they may ask additional details for verification or ask you to write a short essay just to double check, your English proficiency or creative writing skills, or just simply the fact that you're actually serious about getting into that college. but this is the easiest in my opinion. So the one thing to keep in mind when it comes to applying for these merit scholarships is applying early. Since your overall application is just your college application itself, the earlier you apply and submit your application, the better your chances will be to get the scholarship itself. Which means that when it comes to the deadlines, try to apply in the early application cycle with the November deadlines as opposed to the regular decision cycle that's December, January, February deadlines. This will improve your chances significantly. With all said, this process can get really overwhelming when it comes to college applications because it puts a lot of stress and burden on putting up a stellar college application that you're submitting. So if this is an overwhelming process for you and you need a little bit of guidance, I would highly recommend checking out the Ivy League 101 course. The waitlist for the course is now open, and over the last couple of years, the course has helped more than 500 students get into their dream universities in the US. It's basically a one-stop shop where you have guidebooks and recorded chapters in an organized student dashboard on how to apply for colleges, right from shortlisting colleges to application walkthroughs, applying for scholarship, fee waivers, and everything you need from start to finish. That way, you can spend time actually focusing on the content of your application rather than trying to figure out how to do stuff or when to do stuff. The waitlist for the Ivy League 101 course is now open and it's going to be in the link in the description, so check it out. The second category of scholarships is financial aid. Now, there's a lot of confusion with this topic because a lot of students think that financial aid and scholarships are interchangeable terms, but there's a slight difference. One, financial aid is eligible for international students as well as US citizens. So all students are eligible to apply. Second, this is not a loan, which means that if you get financial aid, you don't have to repay it back. It's very similar to how scholarships work. The big difference between scholarships that we spoke about in the first category and the financial aid is that the financial aid itself is need-based, which means that rather than the student's profile and academic standing, this depends on the family standing. How well off are your parents? What is their household income? How many kids are they supporting and at what levels? So all of these factors is what each college uses to determine how much financial aid each student will get. Now keep in mind, not all colleges offer need-based financial aid. So you have to be careful in making sure you figure out the right colleges that do. So if you're not familiar with which colleges give need-based financial aid, here's a small college list to help you get started with. This is completely free. You can find the link in the description below to get it. These are all of the colleges that offer need-based financial aid to domestic as well as international students. Now, I've interviewed numerous students on this channel who've gotten 100% scholarship, and this usually works with a mixture. So they get a portion of their scholarship through merit scholarships and a portion through need-based financial aid. Overall, together, it combines and makes up that 100%. The biggest thing to keep an eye out for and keep in mind is that any type of scholarship comes second. The first step of the entire college application process or the decision process is you actually need to get accepted by the university that you're applying for. So let's say that you apply to Cornell or Columbia or Brown University and you don't even get accepted in the first place. So there's no question of scholarship then. The first and foremost thing you have to do is have a good enough academic standing and profile so that the college is impressed by your credentials and they want to take you as a student. After they accept you, the second step is always scholarship, whether that's merit scholarship or need-based financial aid. So the application process for financial aid is slightly different. It's not as easy as the merit scholarships. There is a separate application that you have to fill out. It's called the CSS Profile. It's completely separate from your college application, which means that there may be separate deadlines that you have to keep in mind and do not miss. In this CSS profile, they'll ask you things about your parents' household income, their taxes, how many siblings you have, what your typical household expenses are, and all of these details. Now, once you submit this CSS profile, you do have to pay an application fee, which is $25 for the first college that you submit to, and $16 per additional college that you sent the CSS profile to. Now, I know there are CSS profile fee waivers available, but I do not recommend opting for those as it can negatively impact your overall applications. I have seen students get first-hand experience with college admission officers saying that if you cannot afford the CSS profile fee, which is a couple $100, how do you possibly hope to pay the actual US college tuition fee in the thousands of dollars? So please try to stay away from these things that can negatively impact your application. Now, the CSS profile itself is a very lengthy process, and it's very important that this gets filled out properly with no mistakes, because mistakes can equal to you not getting financial aid. Colleges here in the US will not tell you, oops, you made a mistake, why don't you fix this? They'll simply reject your application and that's it. So make sure that you do this right. There's an entire 1-hour video on a step-by-step walkthrough of the CSS profile as part of the Ivy League 101 course that I highly recommend checking out. Now, although the course is a recorded course in itself, something that may be beneficial to a lot more students is the Road to Success mentorship. Now, this is a 1-month-long program where 8 students are selected to work from start to finish on their college applications. So everything, your Common App profile, CSS profile, your essays, activities, everything will be reviewed, even shortlisting colleges if you need help with that. So in this 1-month process, you basically have a start to finish under the guidance of a supervised mentor, and you're able to do so. It's a competitive process. We've had hundreds of applicants in the past, and only 8 students get selected. This is because we want to keep the cohort short, and it's not 8 per cohort. It's 8 students for 1 year, that's it. Once we run out of spots, there's nobody else that can come in. You have to wait for the next year. So if you're interested, the details are going to be in the description below. Remember, this is a live program, so no recorded classes, nothing. It is one-on-one Zoom sessions with a mentor, so you can go through your college application process. And the best part is, students that are part of the Road to Success mentorship program get free access to the Ivy League 101 course as well. The third category on our list is the ISFA application. Now, this is a slightly different form, and it basically stands for International Student Financial Aid Application. And the difference between ISFA and the financial aid is that ISFA is free to apply. So some colleges, they do not have the CSS profile, or they don't accept the CSS profile, will typically ask students to submit the ISFA. So if this is the case, it'll be a separate application, typically on the student website portal, or they may just send you a PDF that you have to fill in the details and send it back to them. The details that are in this application are very similar to the financial aid. So again, your parents' household income, how many siblings you have, what the household expenses are, forecasting, all of that stuff. So those are the 3 categories I had for prospective undergrad students looking to study in the US. Now, I know there are some other scholarships here and there, such as the You Are Welcome Here scholarship, which cuts your tuition fee in half, and some other scholarships such as presidential scholarships and grants and awards that may exist, but these are very college specific. In most cases, these all come under the category of merit scholarships, so they may call them something different, but at the end of the day, what you need to know is merit scholarships is based on your student credentials, and you don't have to apply for them separately. But I hope that you found this video helpful. If there are any questions that you have on how the scholarship process works or any specific type of scholarship, drop that in the comment below. Let's try to get this video to 500 likes. It's one we're coming back with, so come on guys, let's do it. Let's try to get a couple more videos on the road for you guys to help you with the fall 2026 intake. Check out the Ivy League 101 course waitlist in the description below, and the Road to Success mentorship program, which has helped so many students. Some students in the past have gotten up to 90% scholarship through this program and with the help of Incognito Blueprints. So highly recommend this absolute success record that the program has had. And again, once the slots kind of fill up and we have those 8 students for the mentorship program, it's going to close for the year and will only open next year. So subscribe to the channel if you're watching till this point, and let's bring back our random question of the day. So I want to know from you guys, what's your favorite summer activity? Lately, I'd say I haven't done this too much, but I've enjoyed going swimming in the summer. The Bay Area's been pretty hot with the sun, and that's an activity that I've enjoyed. In the past, we've done like basketball and stuff like that, but what's your favorite summer activity? Something outdoor or maybe even just indoors. Drop that in the comment below, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.